Alright, hello everybody, welcome to another video. In this video we're going to cover finding the likely drawn liquidity. I dropped a poll seeing what you guys wanted me to cover, and the overwhelming majority picked finding the likely drawn liquidity. So I will be observing the charts and picking a certain level I want to see price gravitate towards for that session, for that day, whatever it may be. So I am going to pick a random point. I don't have any of this rehearsed and nothing like that. We're going to pick a random point so it's as authentic as possible. And we're just going to spam it, whatever it may be. You hear me clicking, clicking, clicking. And there we go. So this is where we're going to start. I'm going to do a little bit, see whatever we can get done. And then we will continue. So I'm going to let price sim to the AM session and pick an area where I want to see price gravitate towards. Right off the bat, I was going to say I wanted to see these highs taken. That already happened pre-AM session. That's all right. Huge pump here. Looks like it's a high impact news event day. Maybe CPI, PPI, something like that. Let me go and see on the lower time frame. Do we have any levels that show any interest? All right. Equal lows right here on the 1 minute. These are a bit trickier these days to find a likely draw because this high impact news does most of the time take out that liquidity. We took out majority of these highs. We have one high resting above that hasn't been taken, but most of these highs, most of this liquidity that has been generated has been taken out. So if I had to aim one way, I would look to the downside. We have several lows here below that do pose interest to me, and so for this session, data high gets taken right here from either CPI or PPI. It's one of those days, likely a CPI, and so 23,638.75 is my drawn liquidity. Why? Data high taken, we completely pumped into a premium. Most of these highs, the objectives to the upside have been taken, and there are objectives that have been left behind. We have lows all here, relative equal lows here. Excuse me. So that makes sense. It just makes sense. And so I would look to the downside as we head into that AM session. We could get a manipulation to the upside once more, but I would look to the downside. My level will be 23,638.75. So let's see here. And just like that, the drawn liquidity does get tapped. You're finding areas on the charts where there is damage to be done. This is an area. People who went long pre-CPI, people who gambled CPI, who full ported, who went long and were correct. Their stop losses are situated here. Here, 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 here. So it just makes sense for price to gravitate there. So, drawn liquidity number one, done. Very simple, very easy, it just made sense. We could see a return to these highs now, but that's it for me. That's the AM session, that would be my draw. And yep, the return to those highs did in fact happen. So we're just looking for on the charts, where will price likely gravitate towards? Hey, my charts are glitching right now. Anyways, we'll never. Oh, wow. I was so focused on the glitch, I didn't even see. Anyways, I didn't see this here. I wasn't looking at that part of my screen. But let's see now to this point. What are we seeing here? Do we have another? Is it high impact news again? 8:30 here. Let's see. Not sure. It might be Thursday, the next high impact news event. Let's look on the 5 minute. I mean, I can already tell just by looking here. On the 1 minute, we'll have lots of liquidity here. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Expected that. Are these equal lows? Yep. 1 minute equal lows once more here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lows here untouched, while highs are being taken repeatedly. Yeah, my chart's going crazy right now. I think it's glitching from time to time. See that? It's very odd. Anyways, we'll navigate as much as we could. Sweep of that high. When I look above, are we at all-time highs? This could be all-time highs here, actually. So when I look here, I think, okay, yeah, I would much rather see lows taken than us just create new highs. So if I had to point in a direction, I would look to these equal lows. 986.75 would be my area of interest. If I get the confirmations, I would take a trade in that direction and look for the lows. You can look at this point here. We're in that AM session now, 9 a.m. Let's see what price does. Sweep of that high, 9:15. So we got a sweep here. That is a pretty significant sweep of this high here. Once again, my area of interest is 986.75. Sweep of that high once more. Another sweep yet again. Market open. Well, I mean, you could look to go short here. It's not the most ideal breaker. Inverse gap here. If we get the formation of that gap, yeah, this could look like a potential area to look for shorts. Didn't get the confirmation. Gap did not form. So we continue staying hands off. Yeah, really nothing to this point just yet. But for this session, this is what I want to see price gravitate towards. So I'll bring it till the end of the session. By the end of the session, I expect price to come here. You could get an entry right here if you would like. Did we change the state of delivery there? Nope. But still, if you're someone that gets a premature entry, you could look for the entry here at some point. But this is my area of interest right there ultimately, to find an entry in that direction. And there we go. So we got that sweep of this high. I mean, here we didn't change the state just yet. Did make a new high there. This gap formed right here. You could have caught an entry right here. Stop above the high. It would not be the most ideal R to R. Let's see right here. Let's see what the R to R would be here. If you put the stop above the high. Yeah, not the greatest, but still a decent one nonetheless. 1.53 to that high. Stop above the high, targeting that low. Drawn liquidity, absolutely correct. Tapped into, very nice. Again, you're just finding areas on the chart where there's damage to be done. Why is this chart glitching though? It's pissing me off a bit. Anyways, showing that sometimes gets annoying. Yeah, like that's a bit annoying right now. See, this should be a high impact news. Yep. Yeah, it's PPI. Expected that. Well, if you were trading PPI, it was definitely to the downside. 100% equal lows just made sense. Complete sense there all around. Let me look here. On the 15-minute, don't love it. Ooh, what do we have here? No, we don't. Never mind. I thought we had equal highs. No equal highs there. Okay, so liquidity damage has been done on both ends right now. I'd be pretty concerned to find a decent entry, a decent move. Equal highs here. I mean, that's probably the only move that makes sense. If we keep dumping, I'd probably have no interest in a trade. Data low taken, yeah, I would look for longs here. My area of interest would be the data high equal highs at 23,965. Just looking at face value here. We took data low. If you look on the, hold on here, on the 5-minute, what do we got? Nope, not 5 minutes, sorry. 3-minute, complete V-shape reversal, inverse gap right here. This is a decent move right here. Yeah, you could go long right here on the 3-minute. Again, it'd be a bit premature. Plus, it's just before the 9 a.m. AM session, beginning of the AM session, so it's a bit lower probability, but we'll see how price holds here. Let me go on the lower time frame as well. Again, sweeping internal lows here. Just sweep after sweep. Yeah, that's where I would look. To this high. 965 is my area of interest. So 3-minute inversion, V-shape reversal, data high, equal highs above. That's exactly where I would look. So let's see. Let's see, what does price do to this point? 965, let's see. And there we go. So there's that drawn liquidity tapped. Why? Damage is necessary to the upside. Data high. People who shorted PPI. People who gambled here, shorted PPI, went down. Their stop losses are resting right here. So damage has to be done. We do damage there. Now, had the PPI candle taken the high here and then dumped, then my draw for the higher prices would not be as strong. But since we left equal highs here, in line with the data highs, it just makes sense. Again, this is just all off the rip, by the way. There's no planning here. Just going day after day. Where do I see? Right off the bat, what am I looking right here? We have several equal lows. I want to see equal lows and then maybe the highs here. Or vice versa. Yeah, oh yeah, oh, we are forming. Yeah, we're coming here. You can be one. I don't even have to look here. I'll just form this box right here. You can be 100% sure right here. We're coming here. Let me take off that middle line. Right here, price is gonna travel in here. You can be sure. I'm just letting you know right now. You can be 100% sure we're coming there. Yeah. Just analyze this on your own before I continue. Why? Why did I pick this? Just look at that low resistance. Damage must be done. And so damage was indeed done. And that was before the AM session. So let's see now as we approach AM session, do we find another draw for price? All right, let's look. Well, that was 871.5. Hello. Relative equal lows all here. We'll put equal lows. We'll just mark it as equal lows here. Let me go on the 5 minute anything. Let me go on the 1 minute anything. Oh, we're chopping. We do have some highs resting above, so that is a little alarming. But maybe I would look for, something like this. This would probably be the most ideal scenario. So maybe I'm a bit hoping too much, but something like this, take the low, come, and then move to all those highs above. That would be beautiful. Ideal scenario. We're chopping around. I'm expecting a PO3 type play soon. Take a high, manipulate the high, distribute to the lower, manipulate the lows, distribute to the highs. I'm looking for something like that. We're definitely taking these highs. That's for sure. It's just a matter of time. Here. This is just a matter of time. Right here. There it is. 912 is a matter of time. Okay. We took some of those highs, and then I think, honestly, in all honesty, that's just a matter of time as well. 892, and there you go. That's just a simple PO3 play right there. Understanding power of 3, how that works. Very simple right there. I mean, those are quick scalp type trades, but it just, you identify those, and you can capitalize on those completely. Yeah, I would like to see us come to the lows, though. My area of interest would be 870 as well as 884. Those are my areas of interest. Now, if we go to the highs first, that's fine. But my overall draw is towards those lows. Let's see here. And there we go. Probably would not get an entry in all honesty. But you're just identifying where there's damage to be done. Damage must be done here. It just makes sense. And so we did that damage. Look at all of those lows. All of these lows in the same vicinity. People that are long have their stop losses resting all below these lows here. So damage must be done. And so damage was done. Very simple, very easy. Potential reversal is possible. Came for this low once more. Now I'm going to look on the lower time frame, see if there are objectives to the upside that make sense. Yeah, there is. Definitely there is. It makes sense if we were to equal highs, relative equal highs here. I wouldn't be surprised if we come here, but we'll see. My main draw for the session has been tapped though. You get a change in the state here. Okay, this is a good scenario right here. Yeah, I'm pretty confident we do go higher. That is absolutely great. When you manipulate, do damage to the downside, and then the body respects that gap, that's a decently bullish sign. But we'll see if that holds through. My main draw has already been tapped. But then if I had to pick, the next draws, 887.5 and 927. That's it, that's all. Chopping around, so we'll see. Not entirely convicted in this draw as my first draw was already tapped. Normally my first draw is the most confident one. But we have generated liquidity to the upside, so I do think it's a potential possibility we head higher still. We could do damage to the downside once more, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. There's lots of liquidity generated, so yeah, I would look at 887.5 for sure. Now if I'm incorrect, it is what it is. If we just decide to dump, that's okay because the main draw was already tapped. Now this is probably a daily draw because we're out of the session, 887.5. But we'll see. Yeah, very, very choppy price action for this day. We'll see if we do end up tapping it here. I'll go on the 50-minute, not to waste any time. Nope, we do not. Alright, so the first draw was tapped, the main draw. These have been left behind. These are potential draws for price in the following session. Let's see here. We'll go to Monday, and then I'll probably call it here. Right, looks like did the overnight session take it? Hold on. Nope. But what did we form here? Yeah, we're coming back here. 22,883 is being returned to. You can be sure. I'm just telling you straight up. It's gonna be returned to. Damage must be done up there. We might come down, rebalance to this gap, take some of these lows, and then go there. But yeah, we're definitely heading higher. Go to that gap. Okay, nope, we went beyond it. Sweep of this low right here, that's fine. We're in the London session, so this isn't the AM session, so I'm going to hold off here, wait to see what we do. And then AM session might actually continue that move to the upside. That low not taken, so we could end up taking the low and then going to the highs, but we'll see. Let me go in the 1 minute here. Are there any obvious draws for price? Yeah. Okay. So my simple draw, very easy draw would be 792. And then the one that would be a bit of a stretch, but I think is reasonable, 883. Those are my areas of interest. Could we return to this low and manipulate first? Definitely. But I would trade in the direction of the highs if I had to pick one. 792, 883. That's where my area of interest is. Ideally, we would manipulate, take a low first. That's ideal. We took out this liquidity here. We didn't sweep necessarily. So I'm looking to see from this point, once we take this high, do we come back down and take some of these lows? Now this is something I'm just seeing now that we formed price action. Lots of lows here. So I'm looking to see, okay, do we want to continue beyond it to that higher time frame draw here just yet? Or do we want to do damage here to the downside first? Because that's definitely a possibility. Yep, so there's the damage done. That was expected. That's why I pointed those out. I'm seeing that there are lows that could be taken out. So those draws were tapped, as well as the 1 minute equal highs right there. I put equal lows, my bad. I meant equal highs there. And then from this point, let's see if we take that low. And then I can expect a reversal. This is more internal liquidity here. But you can expect price to start moving back to the upside. In all honesty, it's not the greatest. I mean, the only thing now that overrides this is the 50-minute draw. So if I had to look one area, I'd probably look here. to those draws. That's about it. Yep, I would look here. But it's not. I'm not entirely confident because we left that low behind. We left lows behind here, equal lows here that just formed. And we've been trading very poorly. So these draws were more internal because of how price was delivering. Still, those were tapped. But we'll see how price delivers here. So yeah, those lows were taken. No surprise. And really just chopping around here. So, yep, that's that. Just that's pretty much it for the AM session. Finding those draws on price. Pretty accurate overall. Looking for what I want to see price gravitate towards. Some levels were not taken. But as I said, you're going to get some right. You're going to get some wrong. Majority of my levels of interest are right. And then every now and then, I'll be incorrect on my draws. That's very normal. But as long as you're consistent with what you want, looking for the confirmations and being consistent that way, you will see lots of success in the markets. So that's all. I'm going to call it here for the draws on liquidity. And yeah, I'll definitely do another video on this if I see more interest. So thank you for watching. I hope you gained some insight out of this. How to find those low resistance areas. Looking for what is likely to be tapped. I wish you good luck in trading and take care, everybody.